All right guys, what's going on? Again, it's been a while since I made a video, so we're gonna make one today. We're gonna be hanging out in the shop today. So today we're just going to be doing some mower maintenance. We're gonna take the mowers to the car wash. We're gonna get them cleaned up, and we're just gonna kind of do some stuff around the shop here. It is way too wet outside to be doing anything. We've been getting non-stop rain. So as you can see out here, it is wet. I mean, it's super wet. We had a period of time like this earlier in the year where it just rained all week. This is kind of the same thing. It's rained Saturday, Sunday, Monday. This is Tuesday, and it's just soaked. It is supposed to stop tomorrow, but I'm just not sure how much we're gonna be able to do. Everything's just gonna be way too wet. So tomorrow we're gonna be doing a landscape project. I'll probably do that tomorrow, half a day on Thursday. And I'm hoping we can get out Thursday, maybe Friday, and do some mowing again. It is supposed to rain again on Friday, so we'll just have to kind of wait and see. So right now it's kind of a mad dash to get everything done, get everything caught up before we make it to the GIE next week. I've already missed one trip this year. I didn't get to go to the steel facility last month because we just had too much stuff going on. So I'm hoping I'll be able to make the GIE. Right now I'm kind of 50-50, just kind of waiting to see. There's not a whole lot I can predict with the rain and things like that, so it's kind of going to be a last minute decision. Flight's already booked, the house is already booked, so if I don't go, I kind of lose out on that money, but you know, business is more important, so we're going to take care of that first. If we get to go, that's great also. So anyway, let's get these mowers cleaned up the best we can right now. Later on today, like I said, I do want to do oil changes and we're going to do the blades, but I do kind of want to talk about the mowers. Haven't really made a video like this in a while. Kind of want to talk about the mowers. I've kind of changed my opinion on some mowers. Some mowers have a better opinion, you know, for me right now. So just kind of wanted to kind of talk about the mowers, kind of talk about the business. My business is kind of, it's changing. I am going to have some big changes coming up next year. I've made some decisions that I think are going to be better for me in the long run, but we'll get into all that later. Right now, let's get this stuff cleaned up. So I get to the car wash place and I want to actually take the mowers off the trailer so I can get them nice and clean better. And the damn Scag won't start. So now I gotta figure out what's going on with this. I think it's just a battery because it just seems like it's not getting enough juice to turn it over. So the good thing is it was just the battery. Yeah, I kind of assumed it was, just wasn't getting enough juice. So that's an easy fix. I don't mind that. I'll tell you one thing. You know, I'll tell you one thing about this Scag is we have beat this machine to hell and back this year. Literally, doing all the city properties that we do and all that kind of stuff. That's not what this machine right here is designed for, in my opinion. It's not made to be mowing 30-something acres a week and that kind of stuff. But I tell you what, man, we have used and abused that thing, and we've had a couple small issues, but nothing major. We've put probably 300, 350 hours on that thing this year. The Wright, it's around 400 hours, but we have just literally abused it, and I mean abused it. We really have. It's been a workhorse. The only thing we do on a regular basis with this machine is we change the oil and we make sure the air filter is clean. We don't even wash it off half the time. It's probably been a month since this thing has been really cleaned up nice, and you know, we sharpen the blades, of course, but it just runs and runs and runs. That and my Scag dealer, I couldn't be more happy with this machine. All right, so now we're gonna take the Wright up there, get it all nice and washed up. The Wright, it's over 400 hours this year, so we've put a lot of wear and tear on this machine also. The Wright's at 391 hours. That's a lot of hours for one season, and we're not even done yet. And we kind of got a few weeks late start on this thing. So yeah, I mean, we've gotten our money's worth out of that. We had a couple issues with the belt on the deck. Other than that, oh, and the drain plug, the oil drain, I forget what they call it, but it just had the bolt in there. It didn't have the hose or nothing. It made oil changes pretty difficult. Other than those two little things, the Wright's been a fantastic machine, and we've abused that one as well. But that one's made to be abused, in my opinion. This thing is made to mow big properties. It's made to mow thick stuff, and it's made to jump curbs and all that kind of stuff. And but it's done the job. So one thing I would like to bring up about the Wright, and I'm hoping by doing this, some of you guys can help me out and figure out what's going on. But whenever we change the blades on this thing, you know, we sharpen them, we put them back on. Whenever we put them back on, we put them on with our battery-powered impact. And I'll show it to you real quick if it's in here. I think it's in the toolbox on the truck. But anyway, it's just a battery-powered impact. It's rigid. It works just fine. But anyway, so we use that to put them on. But we can't get that to take them off. It seems like it's tightening up as we mow or whatever. And we literally have to sometimes bust our knuckles just to get the blade off. And I just don't think it should be that hard. So if anybody's had that problem, let me know. Something I'm doing wrong, let me know. But like I said, it just seems to tighten up more as you're mowing. I'm not really sure what would cause that or what's going on, but it's happening to me. And it's been like that kind of all year. Every time we go to change the blades, there's always one or two that are really, really hard to get off. But I will say one other thing about that Wright is that machine has made me a lot of money this year. It really has. We couldn't mow half the stuff that we mow without that machine right there. And it's just been a great machine. Like I said, it's made me a lot of money this year, and it's already paid itself off. All right, so now what we're doing is we're fixing the Walker H38. Just had a flat tire, went and had it plugged. So one of the bad things about this mower is it is kind of a rear discharge mower, so the stuff that you run over, it kind of shoots it behind you. So, and there's two problems with that. One I found is the tires. The tires tend to get holes on the inside if you run over something like a flag or something like that. You tend to get holes on the sidewall on the inside. So this tire sits on there like that, so on the inside. So in order to plug them, you got to take the tire off, and you got to do it that way. So that's one thing I found with this mower that I don't have a problem with. The other mowers that I have is the inside wall of the tire tends to get poked a lot. The other thing is, because it is a rear discharge and it shoots things to the back, that the fan on the motor tends to get clogged up sometimes, and you got to be careful of that. I've talked about that before in some other videos, but you just kind of have to be mindful of it, and you have to blow it off every once in a while if you're mowing a lot of thick stuff and you're mowing for long periods of time. So other than that, it's a great machine. It still cuts really good, handles really well. You know, my thing is it just doesn't fit with what I'm doing now. We're doing a lot of bigger stuff. It just doesn't fit. It's a mulch deck. You want a side discharge when you're mowing a lot of big acreage properties, things like that. So so for us this year, we haven't used it a whole lot. We have had to use it a few times because other mowers have been broken down or whatever. But it's still a great machine. I still love it. But with that said, I'm probably going to end up selling this machine. And it's always something. I just ran out of juice. So we're gonna charge this thing up real quick. Anyway, this is the one we've been using, the rigid. I bought it at Home Depot. It's okay, works fine. The only problem I've ever had was not getting the blades off on the Wright, and I think they're getting too tight. So we're just kind of going down the line, talking about the different mowers right now. We've talked about the Wright, we've talked about the Scag, we've talked about the Walker 52. Now let's talk about the Walker 48, the Bagger, the MT, the 23 horse. This is still my favorite machine. To do residentials, small commercials, this machine kicks butt. It just really does. We've had it for 5 years now. It's starting to kind of have some issues. I think I have a hydro going out, and I think the starter is going bad. But I'm hoping I can get through the end of the season and then tackle that stuff in the off season, hopefully. But this is the one machine I still would not have a business unless I had one of those. It's just very versatile. It does a lot of stuff for me. This machine has made me a lot of money over the years. So like I said, we're going on our 5th year with this thing. It's got, I think, 1,250 hours on it, something like that. So we put about, 200, 250 hours a year on it. This year hasn't been a whole lot because we didn't have a lot of the bigger, nicer stuff that we've been doing the last few years. But it's still a great machine, man. Like I said, I would not have a business without having at least one of those in my fleet. So the last mower I got that we really don't use very often at all anymore is the Exmark 36. Still cuts good. It's still a good machine, but we just don't use it that much anymore, and I'm actually going to end up selling this one as well. I think it's got around 450 hours on it, so not too bad. Still in pretty good shape, needs cleaned up a little bit, but other than that, runs good, cuts good, all that kind of stuff. I think we will end up putting some new tires on there. It's about time for that, and I think it's right around 3 years old. Like I said, 400 hours or so. Really don't have anything bad to say about it. The one thing I've noticed with this machine that I don't like is you gotta be more careful with your turns on this one than you do some of the other standards that I've used. This one will rut up a backyard really fast, and I'm not really sure why, but you just gotta be super, super careful with this one, especially when it's wet. Sometimes, I've done it with this machine to where I've been as careful as I could be, and I still left a little mark. So not really sure if it's the machine or the operator, but I don't have that problem with the Scag. I don't have that problem with the Wright. So I think it's the machine. It's just a little bit touchier than the other stand-ons I've used. But other than that, it's still a great machine. But like I said, we are gonna end up getting rid of that one as well. To kind of lead into kind of where my business is going, you guys kind of know I've had a rough year this year. We've taken on a lot of city stuff. We've taken on a lot of bigger properties, and that's kind of the direction the company went. And I don't think that was a really good decision now. We've had a lot of problems with employees, a lot of problems with the people not paying and things like that. So the decision that I've made, and this is already final, there is no getting around this, is next year I am going solo. I'm not going to have any more employees. The only exception is I still might have Albero back with me next year. If that's the case, we're just going to double team everything, and we're going to go at it, just with one employee. But if Albero doesn't come back next year, then we're 100% going solo. We're going to do residentials, small commercials only, no more bigger properties. There's a couple semi-big ones, couple acre properties that we are going to keep that I've been doing for years now, and they're just good properties. They're good people to have. But we're not going to be doing any of this 38 acre crap, this 30 acre stuff. No more of that. It's not bad. It's actually pretty good money. We got it down pat. We got it to where we can get them done in a pretty good amount of time. The problem is the pay kind of is off and on. The pay is good when you get paid. Right now they're a little bit behind, so we're done with them. We're not doing them no more. I'm so tired of just messing with all the other little BS that you got to mess with, and I've made the decision we're not doing them no more. So So with that said, we are pretty much going to go solo next year. That's just kind of the direction I want to go. I want to get back to enjoying what I'm doing. I have not enjoyed this at all this year. I have not enjoyed all the struggles. It's been a learning process, don't get me wrong. I've learned a lot this year, but it's just more headache than I want to deal with at this time. So you guys have heard it here first. We are going solo next year, with the exception maybe Al Barrow. But right now, you know, I don't really know his availability. He had an accident last week and got third-degree burns on his foot. I'm not going to go into too much detail, but he had a skin graft, everything, all that kind of stuff. He's in a lot of pain right now. I wish him the best, I really do. He's been the one employee that I've had over the years. Even though he's kind of left me a couple times on, you know, with a bad taste in my mouth, man, that guy is a worker. You know, for the most part, he's been pretty loyal to me. You know, he's the only guy I would want back working with me day after day after day. So like I said, he's the only exception. If he wants to come back, he's more than welcome. But other than that, man, we're going solo. I'm so excited about it. I really, really am. I'm so excited about going solo. I've never been solo. I kind of jumped into this, you know, without knowing a whole lot. And I've learned a lot, man. I've learned a lot over the past 5 years. I am gonna make another full video talking about this and talking about everything that went into my decision to go solo and everything that I'm trying to get away from. But I just wanna say right here and right now that I wanna get back to enjoying what I'm doing. I wanna get back to enjoying cutting lawns, making lawns look good, and I wanna get back to videoing. That's what I enjoy. That's what I've had fun with over the past few years, and I kind of got away from that. And the business kind of went in a certain direction, and you know, I got nobody to blame but myself, but you know, I thought things were going to be different. I just didn't like how it turned out. So with that said, I just want to simplify everything. I want to get back to just mowing yards every day, residential, small commercials, and I just want to get back to having some fun, enjoying what I'm doing.